recently just made a purchase. Right here in my hand, I have the CYMA Platinum SMG9, which is just an MP5 variant. And this isn't how it comes right out of the box. I made a few modifications externally and internally, but we're going to talk about what is included inside the box. Not only that, we're also going to be talking about the construction of the AEG and the performance, and how to even get it cheaper than what's advertised on the e-bike website. Now, in the box, you're going to get many things. You're going to get the useless bag of BBs. You're going to get the unjam rod. You're going to get the instruction manual. You're also going to get, this is already attached onto the rifle, but this is the MP5 NUG. That's actually 12mm to 14mm. You're going to get the thread protectors for it. You're also going to get a muzzle device to lock into it. And there's 3 types of variants of this SMG, or this MP5. And I got the one that has the M4 stubby stock, or M4 stock. There's also a PDW version, and there's a MP5K version that has a much shorter barrel. And also you're going to get the CYMA MP5 130 round mid caps, and then you're going to get the gun itself. Now that we talked about what's in the box, let's talk about the construction of the rifle itself. It is a all aluminum upper. The only thing that is polymer would be the lower, which is this part right here. And also in my variant would be the M4 stubby stock that is also a polymer. But the buffer tube and the adapter that connects to it, that is all metal. And this gun is actually pretty heavy for what it is. It comes at around 8 pounds. And actually it weighs a lot less because of the stuff they added, which I will talk about later. But let's talk about it from tip to butt. So at the very tip of the rifle, we're actually going to have already installed, I removed it from mine, but you're going to have a M4 style locking nug with the all metal flash hider. And as we move down, the handguard is actually M-lock. Have M-lock all around, it's usable. And also at the 12 o'clock handguard right here, you'll see that, I don't know if this is actually made for M-lock attachments, but I can see how you can fit some extra rail space if you need to. And right here you're going to have your attachment, which I'll also show you how to remove this nug later on. You're also going to have the good old H&K charging handle, which you could slap. And as we move down to the receiver end, you'll see that already included and installed, you'll have the Picatinny rails, which most MP5s don't necessarily include, which you have to buy separately. But it's already installed and it's included inside right out of the box. Also, you're going to have ambidextrous mag release lever. You also have a mag release button on the right side of the rifle, but it's actually kind of hard to reach with my index finger. I have pretty small fingers, so for me the lever that's ambidextrous helps me actually remove the mags a little easier. And as we move down, we have the selector switch, which is on safe. Goes from safe, semi to full auto. Now this is one gripe I have with this AEG in particular, because the throw to go from safe to semi is so short, but if you accidentally add too much power to it, you can actually end up switching to full auto by accident. So you have to be very conscious of when you're switching from safe to semi, or just leave it on semi and just have trigger discipline. And talking about the trigger, I'm not a big fan of the trigger. It is a flat face trigger, which actually feels nice on the finger, but the travel to actually activate it takes a long time, and it's kind of hard to get well, I guess to spam the semi, but it could be swapped out. This whole thing is a version 2 gearbox. If you want to change it to a gate titan, if you want to change it to an adjustable trigger, that you can do, but it is using a micro switch. And when we move down, well, I guess back to the front and to the end, these front sights and this rear sight is not adjustable, but on the rear sight you do have 4 options of peep sights to have. Goes from small to large, but how accurate are they? I don't know so much because they're not adjustable. And if we move to the back end of the rifle, you'll see here that we actually have the M4 stubby stock, and if we remove it, you'll see that there's actually an ample amount of battery space that you could use to fit a large or any type of M4 style buffer tube batteries. And the stubby stock does come with a QD sling attachment point right there. And also on the actual adapter itself, it comes with another sling attachment if you want to attach another sling right there as well. And on the left side of the MP5, you actually find what I didn't know what this was at first. I actually had to Google it, but it's actually also an additional mount to mount your sling on, and it feels a little bit more thinner than the rest of the rifle itself. Very thin aluminum, so I wouldn't really trust mounting a sling onto there. I'd rather get a M-LOK QD point and put it somewhere along the handguard. Can you use it? Yes. Would I recommend it? Probably not, but it's up to you. In this clip, we're shooting the MP5 right out of the box, so no cleaning of the barrel. Hop is engaged to the max because we're using .30 gram BBs. We're also shooting at 350 FPS. And we're not really looking for accuracy here, we're actually looking for the grouping size. So ignore the orange dot, that's just my point of reference to always have the red dot there. And we see that the grouping size is actually quite large, not too large. We're making all the hits on paper, which is good enough, especially with a gun that has not been cleaned and or upgraded. Now that we shot the gun stock and seen what the performance is like right out of the box, let's add a few upgrades to even further enhance the rifle. And for that, we're going to be adding a CZI 602mm inner barrel. We're going to be adding a modified flat hop bucking and also adding an M120 spring to this, because this is going to be my indoor-outdoor airsoft rifle. And with these upgrades, I can actually hop my .30 gram and even heavier BBs if I so choose to, even better with little to no hop up engaged. And also I'm shooting at around 395 FPS with .20 gram BB. And right here is the MP5 with the upgraded internals. We have a 602mm inner barrel, flat hop bucking and nub. We're also using a M120 spring that's getting us around 390 to 400 FPS. And the groupings are a little bit tighter, not as tight as I would like it to be, but this is airsoft. For 100 feet, I'm making all the hits on a torso-sized target. Now let's check out the rate of fire. .1 volts. Now I'm going to show you some disassembly issues that I had. It's really easy to take it apart. It's more when we get to the hop-up unit. You'll see more what I'm talking about. But you just have to push this push pin out, and you have to be careful not to lose the brass insert inside, because that holds retention on the pin. So make sure not to lose it. It could come off. So here you see the hop-up unit. It's kind of hard to take out. I'm using my foot to support it. I'm recording this one-handed. So taking the hop-up unit out, it's a little struggle to get it out, but it got out. And the size of it, if you're wondering, is a 225mm inner barrel. And when we get to the hop-up unit, at least for my MP5 out of the factory, the hop-up nub, or the lever that holds it down, it wasn't fully cut, and it actually snapped out. Thankfully, it didn't break off or break the retention, so I could still use that little retention, that plastic retention, to hold the MP5 together. But it is sad to see that this was not cut properly at the factory. And you may also want to add a rubber insert to hold the retention of the hop-up lever or slide, because it does move a bit with the vibration of the rifle. So it adds a little bit more tension so your hop-up could stay the same during extended use. We talked about the internals of the rifle and what I did to it. Let's talk about the externals. So for this, I added a MP5 style stock, not only for the aesthetics purposes, but also it gives me much more battery space to fit all types of batteries. And if we move up to the muzzle, you'll see that I actually swapped out the nug actually for a MP7 adapter, which is 12mm to 14mm, because I like it more when my muzzle sit flush to my gun. And that's all that I did externally. Now, would I recommend this airsoft gun? Yes and no, and here's why. If you buy it from e-bike, don't buy it from them. If you buy it from another website called Taiwan Gun, I would buy it from them. And I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just trying to help you save some money, and here's why. Let me show you an example, or let me show you what I went through. So if I switch here, you'll see that on e-bike, The gun itself costs $315. But notice that the magazine that's included with it is the straight style MP5 magazine. Now, if we take into consideration that we're ordering all these parts as well, it comes out to $440. And if we go to Taiwan Gun, you'll see here that this MP5 does include the CYMA MP5 magazine, which I do like because it has that fake window. And we see all the other parts that are added, and the total comes out to $319, and that also includes the $30 shipping. And on top of that, you don't get charged taxes. Now, before I even bought from this website, I wanted to know if they sold from Taiwan because I didn't want to wait so long to get it. No, they actually ship from Poland. And I ordered this on December 4th, and it came December 14th, so it only took a week to get here. And that's during holiday season. And I know when Evike had their holiday season going on, that this would actually come before, or I'm sorry, after Christmas. So you could save yourself basically $130 just by buying off this other website. And not only, okay, I know this is videos about the MP5, but you can also buy other guns as well if you're gonna completely kit it out. Now, I would recommend Evike if you're gonna buy small products and local, and if you need them maybe a little bit more quicker, I would buy it from Evike. But I think I'm gonna be using Taiwan Gun now to make all my future airsoft purchases. So would I recommend it? No, not for the $440. If you get it for cheaper, yes. Because my experience, I've owned 4 to 5 CYMA Platinums, types of M4s, and all of them had MOSFET issues. Now I know as of recently they just changed their MOSFET, and it's supposed to be more durable and last longer, but we'll see how long that lasts. But to replace it, that could be anywhere from $80 to $100, depending on what type of MOSFET you get. And I haven't fielded it yet, so I can't give you any information of how long it's lasted me. But if it does fail me, I'll make sure to let you guys know in the comments down below. But that's pretty much it. It's up to you guys if you want a more modern looking MP5. And that's pretty much it for today's overview, unboxing, and shooting of the CYMA SMG9. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you dislike it, dislike it. Helps the algorithm a little bit. Helps feed this content to the people that do need this, make their next airsoft purchase, or that are just curious about this AEG. But until next time, I'll see you on the next one.